Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Hope all is well and everyone's all right. We have a few people still trying to connect and get in, so let's give them a few minutes to do so. All right, looks like everybody's in. So once again, good afternoon. Hope all is well. Hope everyone's doing all right. Hope you are ready to have a great semester, start of a new year, all that good stuff. So my name is Vince Tucker. I will be your instructor for this semester. Hopefully you guys, well, you had to have seen at least one of the emails. That's how you got the Zoom information. But if you ever have any questions about if I've sent anything out or sent anything to you guys, let me get here, make sure it's open. Yeah, we're good. You can always, because I always communicate to you guys through email. All right, but you can always, let's say if you haven't heard from me a while or haven't seen an email from me a while, and you're trying to see if I've sent anything at all, always can go to Canvas and then go to announcements. So any email that I have sent, I will always archive it in your announcements. Well, class emails anyway, of course, individual emails, that's just between me and you, but any class emails will be archived here in class announcements, in your Canvas announcements. All right, so these are the 4 emails that I've sent to you guys so far. Of course, this is a virtual class, so all throughout the whole semester, we will be meeting through Zoom. We'll not meet face to face at all. Even when we do tests, we'll talk about that, later on, details on that. But even if we do a proctored test, we won't have to meet anywhere. We will do it through Zoom. Okay, class meetings, that's all your Zoom information. We'll meet, each of our regularly scheduled days, unless otherwise stated, if something crazy occurs. If you miss a class, I'm going to record every session and shoot that link to everyone. So if you miss a class, all you have to do is wait for that email to be sent and you will have a copy of the lecture. So normally I send that out on a Friday, maybe at the earliest a Thursday night, but every class lecture is recorded and I convert it to YouTube, then shoot you the YouTube link. So you will always have access to the class recordings if you were to miss anything or just want to review it. Okay, let's look at this required materials. So I sent this email out to you, letting you know what MATLAB is to us. It is required. Nothing else is required as far as purchase is concerned, except for MATLAB access. With MATLAB access comes your textbook. If you want to buy a hard copy, you can, but an e-copy, an e-text comes with it. So that's why we don't make you buy or purchase a hard copy. So you will go to mymathlab.com, click register now, and use this course ID Tucker12792, and that will give you access to the shell, to the course. After, excuse me, after that, they will either ask you for access code. That's something that you would purchase outside of MATLAB. You either got that from TCC's Barnes and Noble, maybe bought it from a friend, bought it from Amazon, you bought it from somewhere, 16-digit code. If you don't have that code, but you want to purchase access through MATLAB, then that option is available as well. In that case, once again, they won't give you a code, they will just give you access. And then if you don't want to do either at this moment, but you still want access right now, you can use the 14-day free pass, which will be a small link at the bottom of the screen. All right, so those are your registering options. Any questions on that as far as registration is concerned? All right. I'm going to go into MATLAB in a second, but before we do that, I want to make sure we're clear on just these details of how we're going to use it. So I sent you also, this was the last one I sent, this email, just telling you in detail of how we're going to use MATLAB. So once again, you cannot pass the course without access to MATLAB. All of your assignments and tests will be generated through MATLAB. So that's why you can't pass the course if you can't see your assignments. Of course, how can you submit them? You must participate or show activity in MathLab weekly. So your attendance will be confirmed or solidified through MathLab. So the reason why I make that the thing is because I will see attendance through Zoom, but like we had a few people that came in late. If I've already started lecturing and you come in late, I'm going to let you in with no problem. I don't have a problem with people coming in late, but going back and trying to figure out who was it that came in late and all the stuff like that is more of a chore, more of a, a problem than it has to be. So the easiest way for me to solidify your attendance is your activity in MathLab. You're supposed to be doing work regularly throughout the week anyway. So even if you're having trouble, doing work and haven't gotten to it yet, if nothing else, go into a homework assignment and hit save or submit. So there's a timestamp on your activity for that week. So once again, your activity is solidified through MathLab. Remember, I said it's not a problem if you miss a class and then review it on YouTube later on. But if you do that, I wouldn't know that you reviewed it. It would just be on your own time. So once again, your homework, I will be looking at your homework. Well, your homework does help me to know that you're actually active in the course and you're still around. So just making sure we understand that. You will have an unlimited amount of tries to get the best grade possible on your homeworks. So you get unlimited attempts at your homework. Of course, with unlimited attempts, that does not mean you have unlimited amount of problems. There's no such thing as that, right? So problems will be repeated or whatever if you keep clicking on stuff. So my grading scale when it comes to homework is right here. 75 to 84.9 is going to be a 90% in my grade book. So you at least want to get a 75 on your homeworks. And then 85 to 100 will be 100%. All right. Test reviews are not mandatory. But if you score 85 or better on it, I will add 5 points to that respective test. So if you got test review 1, score 85 or better on it, I'll add 5 points to test 1. Once again, though, the test review is not mandatory, but I would suggest that you at least take a look at them because it will help you to study or to know what's going to be on the test itself. You'll have 2 attempts to get the best grade possible on tests. There'll be some tests that are not proctored. In other words, you can just do them whenever you want to do them, no time or anything like that. You will get 2 shots to get the best grade possible on that. We'll talk about proctored tests later. But like I said, the unproctored ones, which will be like your first 2 tests for sure, you can do them on your own. You will get 2 shots to get the best grade possible. All right. And then any scratch work, you want to email me. Any scratch work for your tests, you want to email that to me. You don't have to email me scratch work for homework, but scratch work for your test. All right, so before we go to MathLab, any questions on anything I've said up to this point? Everybody good? Everybody straight? All right. Wrong button. All right, so this is 1:30. All right, see a few people have been enrolled. Good job, good job. All right, so going here, if you need your text, you can hit e-text, and this says view the e-text of your course or chapter contents. That'll take you to certain, specific chapters. So just, showing you that. You just click one. Let's go chapter opener. And so that's the book. All the pages are the same as the regular textbook. All right. All right, so let's look at your assignments. All right, so notice you have all of your assignments all the way to the end of the semester. And test 1 is already posted. Did I do test 2? No. So test 1 is already posted. And right now, notice everything says May 1st. What's going to happen is we're going to start lecturing on this next class. And as we close out, this block of work, before the test, then we'll put a due date on it. So our first test is on chapters 2 and 3. So once we get close to closing out chapter 3, so maybe after 3.2, we'll talk about putting a due date out there for all of chapter 2 and 3's content. So right now, everything's open. Even if you want to work ahead, feel free to do so. Everything's open. Let's see, test. I probably will make test 2 available for you to do on your own as well. But at some point, we have to do it at least 1 or 2 tests proctored, to simulate the classroom experience. So, but like I said, we'll talk about that as we get closer to something like that. But once again, I will put a due date on this first set of content as we get closer to closing out, the material. And we'll do that for all of our sections, all of our chapters. So then as we get closer to closing out chapter 10, we'll put a due date out there for chapter 10 and so on. All right. When it comes to due dates and extensions, it's all about communication. If you're having an issue getting stuff in by in a certain time, make sure you email me. Please do not take zeros. I'm willing to work with anybody that want to work it out. Just remember that every semester I have people that fall off the face of the earth. They stop communicating, they stop coming to class, they don't withdraw, they stop everything. And I don't have a choice but to give them an F. So in order for me to not think you're one of those people, make sure you communicate something with me. I don't need to know deep, intimate details. Just need to know you're still around, trying to make it happen. Need an extension, whatever it is you need. Make sure you communicate so we can make sure you're straight moving forward. It's my goal that everybody passes. So let me see, what else? Oh, let me show you Math Lab assignments. So let me show you what these assignments would look like. All right. So here, one of the first types of questions. So I'm just putting anything in here. So you check your answer, gives you a little bit of a hint. Check answer, a little bit of a hint. And so it gives you 3 chances to get the answer correct. And then if you get it wrong, it asks you if you want to do a similar question, or if you want to just go to the next question. If you just go to the next question, then that's what it'll do. A similar question will reset the problem. If you decide to go to the next question and you come back to this one, similar question button will be down here in the right corner. And if you hit it, it'll just reset the problem to something very similar. Process is still the same, just that numbers are different. So notice you have a red X beside this until you get it correct. Once you get it correct, that red X will turn into a green check. If it was the type of problem that had multiple answers, if you got some of them right, some of them wrong, then it would be a green check / red X. And then when you get it all the way right, it'll just be 1 green check. Here you have your help tools. Help me solve this. Most people don't click on that because it will help you solve this problem right here, and then it'll reset the problem. So you only do that if you're completely done and just frustrated with this problem. Most people click view an example, in which they give you something very similar. Then it'll walk you through step by step. So most people like to do, like I said, view an example. Get more help. If there's a video about it, there'll be a video here, not from me, but from one of Pearson's instructors. Animation, something similar to the video, just works on it. Everything doesn't have the same type of content when it comes to video and animation. Depends on the complexity of the problem. If you click on textbook, it will take you to, where in the textbook they talk about that type of problem. And then here, just ask my instructor. So you send an email, that will send an email to me about the problem that you're dealing with. So sometimes with this ask my instructor thing, you want to be careful. If I don't respond to you, in 1 or 2 days, it's a possibility that it didn't get to me. Every now and then I have a situation where somebody said they hit ask my instructor and I never got it. So just very rare. But if that's the case, then just email me, vtucker@tcc.edu. Or if you contact me through Canvas, that'll be the same thing. That'll be the same thing. Let's see, what else? Oh, I didn't mention this. So when we do lectures, I will, open up the screen like this and writing and talking in the same fashion I would as if I was on the board. It'd be live time. You can ask questions. It's the same classroom experience, except that you're in your room and I'm in my room. So try not to look at it any differently. I know it's a different situation if you just look at it at face value, but really it's the same process that we would be having if I was in the classroom at the board and you were in the classroom at your desk. I would be writing, I would be talking, writing the problems on the board, and it'd be the same thing. It's the exact same thing. So can't speak for everyone else's class, but I just know my class is me writing and talking. And then, like I said, you guys can ask whatever questions you want to ask as we do so. Every day is opportunity for questions. Hold on one second. So every day, I'm sorry about that. So every day is opportunity for questions. I do not plan on talking all the way. We got an hour and 15 minutes. I do not plan on lecturing for an hour and 15 minutes every single class period. Very rarely will I do that in this class anyway, just because the content isn't as heavy. But what I mean by that, if I talk for 40 minutes, 30 minutes, at that moment, I'm done. So you have a decision to make. Either you can stay and ask questions, or if you're done, then you're done. You're done. You can go. So I just want to make sure you understand that you do have the option that even though that I'm done lecturing, you do have the option of asking questions. Okay. Also, there will be office hours established. I haven't set them up yet, but just because of the flux of this first week, classes being dropped because low enrollment or something like that. So I will set office hours up. Office hours would be the same situation as Zoom. You would just I'll give you the link. You'll log on throughout the year if you want, throughout the semester, if you want to come to it. Of course, they're not mandatory. You don't have to come. And get help, in that way. Only thing I ask that if you come to an office hour, or if you email me about a problem, or if we set up another Zoom session where it's just me and you, that you bring the problems that you have to the session. And what I mean by that is that do not come to me and say, I have a problem with order of operations. That's not good enough. So help me help you. Go into Math Lab and pick a problem. That's the easiest way for us to really address your situation. Because the problem with math sometimes is that I can pick 4 or 5 problems and still not address your real issue. So if you go into Math Lab, if it's no more than you going into section 3.1 and saying, I don't know how to do number 1. Bring number 1 to the session, because that helps streamline our time and help makes better use of our time versus me trying to find a problem or you trying to find a problem. So always make sure that you do that. That's all I ask of you, is that if you come to a session that you need help with, or if you email me about some type of problem, or like I said, we set up a session where it's just me and you, that you bring your problems to that session or to the email so that I can walk through that problem or walk through steps. And then we can better and efficiently help you get through that type of issue. And that just shows your due diligence as well, that you're putting in the time, you went into the assignment, saw you couldn't do it, and stuff like that. So that's the only thing that I ask. I don't even care where you got the problem. You could have gotten the problem off of a test. I'm not going to ask you where you got the problem. I'm just going to say, okay, let me show you how to do it. Okay, so make sure you bring your problems so that we can, address them efficiently. Any questions? Any questions? Questions on anything? See the emails.
I have a question.
Yes.
Okay, you say we'll go to the Math Lab, that number you gave us,
Mm-hmm.
to get to our work.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where we'll be getting all our stuff from. But would it be better to purchase the book?
Oh, that's all on you and your preference,
Okay.
and how you learn. And if you want to
Mhm.
have it right in your hand versus doing stupid Zoom got in my way. Hold on a second. This screen came down. So this is always going to be at your disposal, this e-text. So if you don't have a problem looking at your textbook on the screen, then you don't have to purchase a tangible book. But if you would rather have it in your hand, then yeah. But but it's not mandatory that you purchase the book.
But we do gotta purchase the Math Lab.
Mm-hmm.
And I
Yep.
could go to Barnes and Noble and get that.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Okay.
You can go to Barnes and Noble. Now, if you don't, let's say, if you don't use financial aid, then you have the option of purchasing it through Pearson itself. They'll give you the option of purchasing access through Pearson itself. Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah. But if you have to use financial aid, then you have to go through TCC's Barnes and Noble. Yeah.
right, okay.
Mhm. All right.
So we just pull this up and it's gonna say math lab.
When you say pull it up, the,
Okay, now
mhm,
you just put this on the screen, right?
mhm.
This the screen you pull up. We would pull this up every time we go to class.
Well, not my class. Well, my class, all you would do is just come to class and I'll pull up my notes and be writing on the board. This is what you would do when you're at home doing homework on your own. You go to mymathlab.com and then log in, and then it would bring you to the site. But when you come to class though, you don't pull this up. All you do is come ready, be ready to take notes. And then I will pull up my screen like this, and then I'll get to writing and talking and stuff.
Okay,
Mhm. All right. Anything else? Anybody else? Let's see. I think I am good. I think I've covered everything. So now we will get into our first lecture next class, which is Wednesday. Don't forget, Monday we do not have class. Let me make sure this class doesn't have definitions. I don't think you guys do though. Yeah.
So what, next Monday is a holiday?
Yeah, Martin Luther King birthday.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah, we get that day off. If not, I already told y'all, so now it's too late. So so yeah. So Monday we should have off.
You right, that damn.
I'll probably send you guys an email just to remind, but yeah, we should have that off. All right. I think that's all I have. Anybody else? Anybody else? So right now, you guys' goal should be to try to get into MATLAB, get familiar with it, see if you have any questions on anything. We haven't started lecture, so nothing's due. I'm not trying to say you should be getting into a homework assignment, but at least registering and making sure that you can see the assignments. And then next class, we'll actually get rolling.
okay.
All right. Anything else? Anybody else before we close out? Oh, this class made good time. Okay, my other class, I stayed in about almost an hour and a half. That's all good.
So we're not required to do anything yet. Can we go ahead on and start? Are we starting from the first one?
Yes, so the sections that I have set up in your assignments, trying to wait. There we go. These are all the sections that we're going to do. So if you're good, let's say if you get into here and you good with this, you don't have to wait for me. Now, these are all the sections that I'm going to lecture on. But if
When
you
you
don't
say
want to,
these are all the sections, you mean what?
hold on, let me see
From
if y'all look. Oh, I'm
three-
sorry. I was thinking you had the screen. I had the wrong, another screen up. I had this
Okay,
screen up. Yeah, sorry about this. Thank you. So these are all the sections right here that we're going to talk about.
okay.
And so these are all the sections that you will be held responsible for at some point. Reason why I said at some point, I always say whatever I lecture on, then that's what you're responsible for. So let's say for some weird reason, we only get to chapter 7.6, section 7.6, then I wouldn't hold you responsible for 9.1, 9.2, 9.3.
Okay.
But we should have plenty of time because I pulled out certain things that weren't necessary and all that stuff like that. So I streamlined the course to make sure we're able to get to the end of it.
So we will be starting from 2, and then go down. You're not gonna be jumping back and forth, just from
Nah,
2. Okay, got it.
we're going order and everything. Yep. Mhm.
Okay, thank you.
Yep, not a problem. So yep. So if you go into homework 2.2 right now, look at the assignment and say, look, oh, I can do this. Go ahead and knock it out, man. So because what I don't want you guys to do is to put yourself in a position wherein you can't walk away from it. You always want to be moving ahead if you can. Because the worst thing you can do with mathematics is put yourself in a position where the due date is tomorrow or within a couple of days. This is my only free day. So I got to get 5 assignments done in this day. And so now you can't walk away if you're frustrated or if you need a break. So you want to be knocking out these sections as we progress throughout the course. And, you don't have to get in there daily, but you do want to progressively do it and not have to put yourself in a position where, like I said, you have to do all of chapter 2 and all of chapter 3 on this Saturday. Many have tried, many have failed trying to do that. It's not made. If you look at an assignment, and this is where it can be deceiving a little, you look at one assignment, you're like, oh, that's easy. But that one assignment plus another assignment plus another assignment plus another assignment, Now it's not necessarily hard, but it's tedious. And you know, and you got to sit there and deal with it. So you don't want to put yourself in that position. I had plenty of people always joke that, you know, I get an email, hey, Mr. Tucker, I'm gonna get caught up. I got this day off, got Saturday off. You know, so I sent the kids off to my mother's house, and I'm gonna sit here and do all this work. Then the next thing you know, the dog got to go to the vet, the goldfish jump out of the bowl. I mean, whatever could happen happens to prevent you from doing the work. So you, like I say, you don't want to put yourself in a position if you don't have to. Now, if you got to do what you got to do, then it's all good. But if you don't have, if you know, if you can help it, you don't want to put yourself in a position in which you have to do multiple assignments right now. You know what I mean? So progressively do this stuff, you know, as we can. If anything seems easy to you, go ahead and knock it out, and don't take for granted that everything's going to stay easy, because you might hit a speed bump. You know, you might hit a speed bump. All right. So that's my soapbox. Questions, concerns, comments before we close today. That's all I got for today. And then, as always, if you have any questions that you couldn't think of and you want to hit me later on, that's my email address, vtucker@tcc.edu. Or you can contact me through Canvas. If you do that, Canvas will send it to this email address, you know, as well. So either way is fine. All right. Anything else? Anybody else before we close? All right. So once again, your goal right now should be to get into MathLab, register, whether you have the access code or not. Remember, you can do the 14-day free pass to make sure that you are registered. And then from there, even if 14 days are up, you won't lose your progress. It may lock you out until you pay for the access. I can still see your progress, but you will not lose your progress. So you don't have to worry about, oh, well, you know, I won't get it for another 20 days or 15 days. Your progress will still be there if you were to make some. It's just that you won't get access until, you know, you go ahead and pay for it. But look forward to this semester. Did I see hear somebody unmute?
Yeah.
Okay,
So we won't ever have a Zoom password. You can just log right on in with Zoom ID.
Mhm.
No password. Okay.
Right. So way I normally set it up is that you'll log in, and I have a waiting room. Normally I do waiting room so I could try to take attendance. Oftentimes it's kind of hard because everybody starts rolling in. And then if you come in late, I most definitely would be able to take attendance. That's why I say attendance is really looked at when I look at MathLab, you know, and look at your activity in MathLab. So that's why it's really important to get into MathLab so that, you know, you can be accounted for efficiently and stuff like that. But yep, no passwords needed. Yeah, it's not nothing top secret having around here. I don't even know why I would need a password, but I know people be doing it. I just don't know why I need it though. But but other than that, I'm good. You guys good? Everybody straight?
Yep.
All right, see thumbs up. Okay. So once again, if you have any questions that you couldn't think of right now, but you think about it later, feel free to shoot me that email. Other than that, you guys have a great day. Be safe. You know, that's why we're doing all this Zooming, because we're trying to be safe. And I will see you on next class. Thank you. Thank you. Have a good one. All right. Take care, guys.